Hello and welcome to the Spotlight in Food and Health Communications, your number one go-to media source for credible and timely health information. Victor Wabari is my name. On today's episode of the Spotlight, we will be looking at a topic titled Dizziness. We want to talk about dizziness. And of course, what's the first thing that comes to mind? What's dizziness? I'll go ahead and tell you what dizziness is. As I understand that dizziness is the feeling of being lightheaded, woozy, or off balance. It's linked to the sensory organs, specifically the eyes and ears. So it can sometimes cause fainting. And of course, dizziness isn't, a disease itself, but rather a symptom of various disorders. Dizziness is common, and occasional dizziness isn't something to worry about. However, it's important to call a doctor immediately if you're experiencing repeated episodes of dizziness for no apparent reason or for a prolonged period of time. Now, what are the causes of dizziness? Dizziness has, a variety of possible causes. And I'll start with the first one. On my list, I've got, vertigo and disequilibrium. True dizziness is the feeling of lightheadedness or nearly fainting. And when we talk about the vertigo and disequilibrium, it means that, the both cause of a feeling of dizziness, but these two terms that I talk about describe distinct sensations. Now, the vertigo is characterized by a spinning sensation, like the room is moving. That kind of feeling when you stand and it feels as if the whole room is moving around you. That's vertigo there. It may also feel like, motion sickness when it feels like you're standing still quite all right, but it feels like you're moving. That's vertigo there. And when you talk about disequilibrium, it is actually a loss of balance or equilibrium. Now let's go ahead and look at the next one. I've got what I call common causes. Now, losing too much fluids can result in dehydration. And one of the most common cause of dizziness is it's actually, the fact that people get to lose too much fluids. And the symptoms of dehydration includes thirst and dry skin. Now, other common causes of dizziness include a migraine attack or alcohol. Dizziness can result from a problem in the inner ear, which is the area that senses, movement and regulates balance. These problems include hearing loss. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you all the possible causes. Some other potential causes of dizziness includes number one, sudden drop in blood pressure. Sudden low blood pressure may be caused by various medical conditions or even from standing up. Now, it can lead to dizziness and falling, especially in older adults. Number two is what I call the cardiomyopathy. In this condition, the heart's muscles become rigid and weak, and therefore it pumps less blood. And the symptoms can include dizziness, fainting, and trouble breathing. I'll go ahead and tell you the next one, which is heart attack. While we understand that chest pain is the most common indicator of a heart attack, dizziness or lightheadedness can also be a symptom. They occur if there is not enough blood reaching your brain. Now, the symptoms related to dizziness, people who are dizzy may experience various sensations, and they range from, lightheadedness or faintiness, a false sense of spinning, to unsteadiness, to a loss of balance, to a feeling of floating. And, sometimes the dizziness is accompanied by nausea, vomiting, or fainting. You need to seek emergency medical help if you have the symptoms for extended periods. Now, I'll go ahead now and tell you, when it's the time for you to call a doctor. In as much as we talk about dizziness as not a sickness, but a symptom of a sickness. But there is a hallmark, there is a danger zone, and that's what I'll tell you right now, because it's important to call a doctor if you have repeated bouts of dizziness. Also, you need to notify your doctor immediately if you experience sudden dizziness along with a head injury or a headache or a neck stiffness, or probably you have a high fever or an ongoing vomiting. Some persons also have it accompanied with blurred vision, some persons hearing loss, and some persons go as far as having it with titanus. And of course, if you also experience difficulty in speaking or numbness and tingling, that's a sign you need to call your doctor as fast as possible. Now, as I try to round off on the show this very day, I'll go ahead and tell you some of the tips for managing dizziness. Now, I need you to follow these tips if you have recurrent bouts of dizziness. Number one, sit or lie down immediately when you feel dizzy and rest until the dizziness goes away. So the moment you find yourself feeling dizzy, just calm down, sit down, and rest. Do not go about the activity you've been doing before that time. The very minute you notice you're beginning to feel dizzy, and I told you earlier, what are the symptoms? How do you know? When you begin to feel like the room is moving around you, when it feels as if you're moving, even though you're in a static position, that's dizziness setting in. Quit what it is that you're doing and rest. Number two, use a cane or walker for stability if necessary. If you notice that, okay, probably you're walking and you're in a situation where you just need to keep walking, you can't stop, you can't stand, then ensure you have a cane or something to guard you to ensure stability as you move. It's very, very important. Number three, always use handrails when walking up or down the stairs. I've seen quite a number of people who, have this issue of dizziness, and as they try to walk up the stair or down the stair, they get to fall. So if you're in such, category, whenever it is that you want to use, the stairs, always use the handrails there, okay? Number four, try activities that can help improve your balance, such as yoga and Tai Chi. Now, if it has gone so bad that you notice that you lack balance standing, you lack balance sitting, you lack balance moving, then try, activities that can help you improve balance. And yoga and Tai Chi are great activities that you could get yourself involved in to improve your balance. Number five, avoid moving or switching positions suddenly. I don't know how to explain that better than the way it is there. Don't just, move. Anything that makes you move, suddenly, that makes you change position suddenly, try as much as possible to avoid it. Number six, avoid driving a car or operating heavy machinery if you frequently experience dizziness without warning. So if you're at those points where the dizziness just comes on you suddenly without prior notice, then you should avoid driving as much as possible. And of course, operating heavy machinery. Stay away from these two things. And finally, avoid caffeine, avoid alcohol, and avoid tobacco, because using the substances may trigger dizziness or make it worse. And this is where we call it a wrap in today's episode of the Spotlight. I want to believe you've learned a thing or two in this very, very episode as we've talked about, dizziness. My name is Victor Wabari. I'm not a doctor. I'm only here to give you health tips that can help you live your best life health-wise. And I come your way next time. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. If you have not subscribed, it's at FHCTVB. You could also like our videos. And if you've got comments, contributions, whatever it is, put it in the comment section below and we will do well to reach out to you. I always say to you that a healthy lifestyle leads to a wealthy lifestyle. So if you want to be wealthy, you've got to stay healthy. My name is Victor Wabari. One more time. Keep staying healthy.